Okay. Hey guys. So I am trying, I am doing probably what you should never do. I am trying something new and going live and huddle up through my computer. And so hopefully you guys can see me well and hear me well. Let me know if you can, or let me know if you cannot actually. I'm sure someone would let me know. I'm really excited to start this again. So it's good to see everybody. Happy Sunday. We are going to start week one with some really basic stuff. And so a few weeks ago, actually, I guess it's a little over a month ago. Hey guys, oh, I can see people. That's really nice. I think I like this on the desktop. Okay, I guess it's a little over a month ago now. I took a poll on the team page and wanted to know, people wanted to know who would want a fresh start. I know that after 7 years in business, I often feel like I just need to wipe everything away. I just need to clean my brain, clean the slate, throw all the notes away and just clear it out and just start over and remind myself of some of the basics that we're going to get a chance to talk about today. So through doing that on the team page, we transitioned over here to Huddle Up, which I'm loving. And it also has given us a great chance to have a fresh start and do this again. So we're going to get right in it. My hope is that today's will be a little bit longer. Today's will probably be around 45 minutes, maybe 50 pushing. I can see you guys, I can see your comments over here. So if you have questions, stop and ask along the way. This is a conversation between us. Okay, I do have prepared material, and if you guys look in the calendar, you can see what's going to come up every week. And I've got notes here to keep me on too. So today we're going to talk about the basics. We're going to talk about learning a new language. Whenever you start a business, and even whenever you're in a business, as new products come out and things like that, like it is a new language. Just like if you were doing any other type of continuing education or anything like that, you have to learn the language, right? Give yourself some time to figure out what the heck is going on and what does all of that even mean. We're going to talk about being a product of the product today. We're going to talk about the brand of Rodian and Fields. What did you join? What do we do? What will we stand for? We're going to talk about expectations, comparisons, and just a little bit about promotion. So that's what we're going to cover today. And again, so if you have questions along the way, I can see everything really good. I am super excited about the way this looks on the desktop for the platform. So I'm happy about that. And please, if you have any questions along the way about Huddle Up and how it works and all that kind of stuff, ask. I will answer everything live that's on here live, and then I'll come back and check it. So if you're catching the replay, let me know that you caught the replay and drop your questions, and I will come back and answer those as well too. Okay, great. Okay, so everybody that's on here now knows me pretty well, but I'm just going to give a ramp up real quick of my story because we're going to talk about our story at the end just a little bit. So my name is Sarah, right? I have been with Rodian and Fields for a little over 7 years now, and it does feel like a lifetime a bit. And it feels like I have run probably 4 businesses inside of this one business. Like I've transitioned and grown so many times, which if you have been around for a little while and you don't feel that way, this is going to be really good for you because you need to grow, you need to learn, you need to blank slate your business every once in a while and start again and build something new inside of Rodian and Fields. So that's a real thing. So I have a professional background as a meteorologist in the Air Force for just shy of 8 years, and that was many moons ago. So don't ask me any questions about any of that now because I don't know anything about it anymore. I mean, it was a lovely time in life. And just the time for learning. And then after that, I went into the dental field. So I was working in the dental field whenever I found Rodian and Fields. So I don't know about your story. Some of your stories I know, some of them I don't. But I went looking for something. So my husband and I have a blended family with 5 kids, and things were an absolute zoo, a total circus. And the place that I was working as a surgical assistant inside of a dental office. And basically, like if you're working for somebody else and you're not there, like they need you to be there. Okay, and that's kind of the way that it was. We had 5 kids. They were pretty little at the time. Sicknesses are rampant. If you have little kids, you know that one of them touches the other one, sneezes on the other one, and that's just it. So my husband's in banking, and we came into a time where I needed to take the day off to be home with my kids, and my boss did not like that very much, and so he threatened my job. I called my mom. I started complaining. My mom had seen my mom's a retired teacher, and she had seen one of her teacher friends post on Facebook that she was retiring from teaching with Rodian and Fields, and this was in 2015. And so my mom just kind of stopped me And I'm giving you guys like the real quick, but also personal version. My mom just kind of stopped me and said, hey, I think you should check out this Radiant and Fields thing. I have used the products. I like them pretty well. And I think that it might be worth you looking at, which was a pretty big recommendation to me. So anyway, one thing led to another. It was a Tuesday, I guess. No, it's a Monday or is it Tuesday? It was a Tuesday. I had almost signed up by noon. And I didn't know anybody in Radiant and Fields. I asked on Facebook. I asked my friends through text, does anybody know anybody in Radiant and Fields? Got connected to someone who I know and love very well now. My upline, you're part of her team. Her name is Sherry Hanks. And I was almost all the way signed up. But back in the day, we had kits. And of course, I wanted the biggest kit. It had all the products in it. I'd never tried the products. I didn't even know what we sold. I was just joining Radiant and Fields, the brand, which we'll talk about in just a second. I was joining Radiant and Fields, the brand. And so I ended up having to ask my husband or run it by them. We all know that like there's just like an amount that like you don't spend. And $1,000 was definitely an amount that we didn't have laying around. I was getting ready to put it on a credit card. And he was not okay with it at all. And so it took me from Tuesday to Friday to smooth that one over a little bit. And I joined the business. And my goal had always been replacing my income so that I could make full-time income from home. And so that's what I did with it. That's what I do with it. I was able to do that. This is a private thing, so I don't have to give all the income disclosure or whatever. I was able to do that. It was a year to the month later. And so I don't know what you want to do with this business, but I want to tell you to stop playing small with it. You can do anything with it that you want, literally anything. Okay. And so I'd love to hear from you guys. What is it? Why did you join this business? And we're going to talk about that in a second. Why did you join this business and what do you want to do with it? And why aren't you doing it? Or are you doing it? Right. So that's always been it for me. I was able to quit my job and walk away from that. And I've been doing it full time from home ever since. So it's been a ride. It's been awesome. I would say yes to this brand over and over and over and over again. And I would say yes because of the things that we're going to talk about today. Okay. So let's talk about the basics. Okay. So in Radiant and Fields, we have languages and words and things like that. And things like that we just kind of have to learn along the way. And so one of the basic things that we have are called buckets. If you do not know what executive consultant means, then I would love for you to tell me in the comments. And like I said, this is a back and forth conversation if you're on here live with me and I can answer your questions and things like that. But I also want to explain to you a little bit of why we work the way that we do. I promise through this is private inside of Huddle Up. I promise that I will be honest with you. I will be open with you. And there's no reason for us to be here if I'm going to bullshit you. And I am not. Okay. I'm going to tell you my experience. I'm going to tell you my opinion, and I'm going to tell you what's worked for me and what hasn't. Anything less than that is a waste of my time and a waste of yours, and I'm not going to do that. So again, ask questions along the way. Definitely don't be scared about asking questions along the way and doing things like that, because again, it's Sunday afternoon. I am not here to just listen to myself talk. This is for you. Okay. So what I want you to do is in the comments, I do want you to tell me why you joined this business, what you're doing with it. Are you doing what you said that you wanted to do with it? Has yours changed along the way? Tell me a little bit about that, because with this, that's my story and that's what I wanted to do with it. And that I'm doing what I want to do with it. Okay. That through the years that has been in alignment and out of alignment. And we'll talk about that too. But you're here to build your thing. That's the whole point of this. The whole point of probably no matter why you joined Radiant and Fields, the whole point is because you did it because you wanted to, and there was something that you want out of it. Okay. So what do you want? Now you figure out what it is that you want. And the question is, well, what do we do? How do we get there? Right? What does all of this mean? What are the building blocks? How do I do my job? The first question is, what is your job? So as a Radiant and Fields consultant, you signed up to get paid by Radiant and Fields to market their products. Okay. And I'm going to throw some common sense in here on building a team versus not building a team, or recruiting versus not recruiting. And it actually has nothing to do with you. Okay. So if we'll think about this in a business, in just a business standpoint, if you signed up with Radiant and Fields to get paid to move their products, doesn't it make more sense to you to find other people that also want to help you move those products? Would it be easier or smarter for me, all alone, little old me, to try to sell $50,000, $75,000, $100,000 of skincare every month, $200,000 of skincare a month? Or might it be a little bit smarter for me to go and find some other people that also think that's a good idea and put them inside of my organization so we can all do that together? Not only smarter, money-wise, or time-wise, but also a little bit more fun. It's a little bit more fun whenever we do things together, right? Like I always enjoy doing things with you guys, and it's just way more fun whenever you do it together. So I want you to be open to changing your mindset and the way that you look at things, okay? And not just being able to acknowledge, oh yeah, that's a good idea, Sarah, but why aren't you doing it, right? Because I think it's pretty common sense the way that I just laid it out to say that this is a smart thing to do, right? But then why aren't you doing it? Why are you getting caught up on all those things? And we'll talk about those things through these 4 weeks. But when we do that, then we have to think about who are we looking for? And I want to expand on that for just a minute, because you're not just looking for warm bodies, right? I mean, there is something to be said for promotions and trips and recruiting and front lines and all of that kind of stuff. But really think about, if you are trying to move the maximum amount of product for Rodan and Fields, who are you looking for? The first thing is that you're looking for people who see the value in Rodan and Fields, the brand, just like you. There is something about the brand of Rodan and Fields or the products of Rodan and Fields that you saw value in. Hey, these are really good products. Hey, it's a really good company. I can absolutely move these products, feel good about it, feel confident about it, and Rodan and Fields is going to pay me, right? So you're looking for people, don't complicate it, that see that. People that can see what you see in a business opportunity. Don't complicate it. It's no more than that, okay? Right. So we will talk about promotions and strategy later whenever it comes to people and bodies and things like that. Okay. But overall, these are the people that make up Rodan and Fields. When you look at business owners, not just inside of this team, but inside of Rodan and Fields, we come from all walks of life, all professional backgrounds. But what we have in common is that we see that there is financial and personal value in signing up to do that. And for the most part, what you will see is that the successful people are people who figure it out along the way. They figure it out and they do things. And it's based on that one, that's based on that one thing. I'm gonna have to let my cat in. I didn't even think about that. Come. Or else he will meow at us the entire time, guys. The entire time. All right. So a few expectations inside of RF101 right now in book club. We are reading a book that I could not love anymore, and I should have brought it in here because I think I'm going to reference it a few times. But it's called The Magic of Thinking Big. And one of the chapters that we're reading now or have read recently talks about how attitude is so important. Like, you can do anything with the right attitude. So bring high energy, bring a positive attitude, bring an open mind, bring a humble mind. That even if you've been doing this for 5, 6, 7 years, if you are not where you want to be, why? It's because you have something else to learn. Me, I have so much more to learn because I am still not where I would like to be. I'm content, I'm happy, I'm proud of what I've done, right? I'm proud of what I've built, but I have so much to learn. And The Magic of Thinking Big is the most basic book about mindset and success that I have ever seen. And attitude is everything. The only difference between a person that's where you want to be and you looking at where you want to be is your attitude. It is your attitude and whether or not you're willing to do what it takes to go and get it. Do you believe that you can do that too? Okay, so drop limiting beliefs. You, me, all of us, we have to drop. If we say that we want a clean slate, if we say that we want to do this, if that's what we say, we have to drop our limiting beliefs. We have to stop it with all the excuses, with all the nitpicking here and there. Well, I don't want this, I don't want that. Well, I've tried that and whatever, right? We learn from things, observation and failures and things that we've done in the past, but stop, like, not with the nitpicking. Who cares? We have 4 weeks inside of here, and we've already talked about asking questions and things, but I want you to think between now and I think it's the first week of June, expect growth. Like, expect it. expect to not be the same person in 4 weeks that you are right now, or else you're absolutely wasting your time. Because we can show up and we can listen to all the trainings and do all the things and all that kind of stuff, all that we want to, but it doesn't matter if we're not committed to actual growth. Okay. So let's talk about buckets. In talking about the basics of the business and language and things like that, this is the very basic building blocks. So comment somewhere in here whether or not you fully understand how we get paid and how we build our paycheck. So we talked about your own reason why you might want to do this. So you know why you want to do it, and you know what the job is. Your job is to move product and find other people that also want to move product for Rodan and Fields. Rodan and Fields says they'll pay you for that. Now, how does that happen? Okay, if you fully understand, I want to hear that you fully understand. And if you still have a few questions, I want to hear that too, all right? So what do the terms even mean whenever it comes to 100, 600? Again, we're learning a brand new language. The first thing we're going to talk about is called 100, and it says SV beside it, right? That means sales volume. That also CRP, okay? So we're going to talk right about it. Who's enrolled? I want to hear that too. If you are enrolled in CRP, right, which right now we have like a new product release. And so hopefully your SV bucket is totally full because you already bought the new product. But our CRP is called a consultant replenishment plan. All right. What it is and what do you do with it? So first of all, the SV is kind of like if you had a brick and mortar store, like how much would it cost for you to keep that open? You'd have to pay your employees, you'd have to pay your lights, like you'd have to pay for water and product and all of these things, right? You have to pay these things just to have your doors open, like on a basis, right? CRP is that, okay? Pulse is that too, and we'll talk about that in a second, but Pulse is not included in CRP, okay? So consultant replenishment plan, there are just some things that are big aha moments, and it's a light bulb moment for me on CRP, and it has been for years. It has been for years. Who CRP is on and who CRP is off. How the best way to talk, let me back up. Actually, I'll share a story with you first. When I first started, Jackie Qualls is our RFX upline, and she talked about that example of a brick and mortar and how would it be and how simple that was, and also that it's just the price of building a business to just commit with it. To change it from, okay, well, if I hit 600 this month, I will fill my CRP. I will fill my SV. But that's the backwards way to do it. It changes what if I'm successful to I am doing this. This is my business. Get in or get out. Get in, be consistent, run your business, type of thing. And so there are a couple of different ways to fill our CRP, and I will talk about them. But what I want you to do is to commit to that. That's all it is. It's very simple. It is 100, and it's the products that you purchase to use on your face in your business. And I'm going to give you some examples in just a minute. It's that is what it is. Okay. I am going to talk about the retail order at the very end very quickly. But for CRP, it's just, that is how we get paid more. If you do not fill it, then you are missing, I believe, 5 to 6% in your pay. And I have had through the years so many phone calls or text messages that say, Sarah, my paycheck was lower. Why was my paycheck lower this time? And it's like, well, you didn't fill your CRP. That's why. Okay, so the different things that I do with it, that we do with it. First of all, we get 25% off as consultants, which is amazing, right? And it's available to you, at least, CRP is available to you to run once a month. That is where I order my personal products for myself, for my husband, for my kids. If by some chance that I don't need anything that month, that is where we get samples. Now we actually have product samples. And again, they don't go in your SV, and I will cover that because I know that that's a huge question. But samples, gifts, things that I purchase for new PC packets. And I'll tell you about that too. And then personal use. And so if I don't need anything personally that month, what I will do is I will buy essentials, and I will do like a raffle for an essentials gift out of my PC orders that month. That's a really great thing to do with it. Okay. And the other thing that I will do is I will buy face masks And I will take the face masks and I will put them in these cute, tiny little adorable Amazon containers, and I will send little samples of face masks to my customers. Like, I purchase products that will help to build my business. And that's really what I want to say. I don't want to ramble anymore about CRP. I really want to say that that is where we buy our products at a 25% discount. It's your personal products, it's products for samples, and it's products for gifts and things like that to build your business. So when you think about your CRP, think about your own skin, your family skin, and then think about how you can use it to build your business. I'm gonna have to let this cat out again. The heart of it is that you have skin in the game. You have actual skin in the game. That is the heart of CRP, okay? It shows that you're serious about your business. And my suggestion is to run it between the 1st and the 6th so that you're totally done with it. Yes, that can screw you sometimes if like we have a new product release at the end of the month or in the middle of the month or whatever. And I've done it. I did it this month. I've done it before. I'll probably do it again. But my suggestion is to go ahead and run that like as fast as possible, because you've got skin in the game. You're there, you've paid to run your business that month, and that's what it is. It just makes sense. We'll talk about the RFX diet in just a second. We're going to begin doing that again. You will begin seeing that again. And it's just really good to be able to go ahead and celebrate promotions, to go ahead and have that 100 bucket filled so that it is checked. And again, I don't want to ramble about CRP a lot. What I want you to know is that's your personal products. You can buy gifts and samples out of it. It's really non-negotiable whenever you're running a business. It's a very minimal amount. The second way that you can fill that bucket is with a retail order. And that is, and those happen for sure, but that is not what we're counting on. That is a very non-professional business owner way to fill your SV bucket. Yes, it works. And yes, it's a viable option, but that person pays more, they pay for shipping, you don't get the extra commission. We get paid retail profit on every single thing that we sell, okay, but you don't get extra commission on it. And that it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Yes, we get them, but to count on them to build our business is not the smartest thing to do at all, okay? I will tell you in here that if you have people, and we'll talk about PCs at, specifically at a different time, but if you have people that are just like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to be part of a program, talk with me personally, because, well, actually, I'll just tell you very, very quickly, whenever people sign up as a preferred customer and they don't want to be enrolled in like flexible replenishment, I just go ahead and tell them, hey, if you don't want that, let me show you how to turn that off. And by turn that off, what I do is I show them very quickly how to push their cart out a year. And so they don't have to worry about it at all. Okay. So I don't want you to be relying on retail orders to fill your SV, because it's unreliable, it's not professional, and it is not the best way to run your business. And one of the things that I said was that I would be honest with you, and that is my absolute honest opinion. Okay. So the 600 bucket. So what goes into, and if you will look on this app and you will look under resources, I do have a picture of the buckets if you're a visual person. So in that 100 bucket, you have got, it's your SV, and what can make up that 100 bucket is either a retail order or anything that you buy personally, okay? So over here in our 600 bucket, 100, 600 is the only way to promote. When you hit 100, 600, you're called an executive consultant. So if you didn't know that before, you know that now. They are the building blocks of our business. And I'll talk about how to promote at the very end of today's. What you get is you get about a 5 to 6% pay raise on the commission with that. You are considered an executive consultant leg yourself. And after being an executive consultant leg yourself, then you can promote. So if you have other executive consultant legs under you, then that's how you get to level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to show you guys, that visually at the end. It's also, you are also a leg for the person that you joined, which is really cool and should help you see like the bigger part of the vision of the business. Being excited to be part of something bigger than you. Like, I'm so excited to be part of Rodan and Fields and help them like sell their products whenever Rodan and Fields is number 1 in the number 1 premium skincare brand in North America. Why? Because of what we did, right? Like, we are part of something bigger. And also inside of our businesses as executive consultant legs, like, you are part of something bigger. Okay. And so I'm going to give you a couple of examples, and there's all sorts of examples out there. And I do have a resource inside of the new consultant tab inside here of Huddle Up, and it has the price and volume sheet on it. And you can find all sorts of ways to make up your PSQV. And that's what the 600 bucket is called, personally sponsored qualifying volume. So that could be 6 flash boosts. It could be 4 regimens. It could be from consultant VIP bundles. So whenever your preferred customers order things, it goes into that bucket. And then whenever consultants that are on your team direct to you, whenever they purchase things, then that goes in your PSQV bucket too. So whenever you sign new consultants and they fill their VIP bundles, they get their own products, which we'll talk about in just a second. When they get their own products, that goes inside of your PSQVT. So let me know if that's crystal clear. What I want to share, what I want to show you guys is the basics of how to build the business. Okay. This goes in the 100 bucket. This is what I think is the best practice over here. And this goes in the 600 bucket. And this is what I think is best practice over here. Okay. With PCs, you acquire your PCs and you love on them and you maintain them and you keep adding to them. Okay. We duplicate that over and over each month. We all start at 0. And that's all there is to it. So it doesn't matter if you joined this week or if you have been with me for 7 years, like we all start at 0. And the way that begins to change is, let's just say that this is your first month in business and you've got your first preferred customers coming, then you'll fill up your PSQV. Hopefully you'll just go well over 600. You'll get a great paycheck. And then next month, you're going to start at 0 again, and you're going to do the exact same thing. And then what's really cool is on that 3rd month, you have some preferred customers that are up for their flexible replenishment. And so that's when you start to see some of that residual income. Like, oh my gosh, they love their products. I've already talked to them. I touch base with them along the way. I've been talking to them. I know that they love it. I know that they're out of X, Y, and Z, or even better, they're going to try this new product because you suggested it to them. You sent them a welcome PC pack and it had a little gift in it that you got from your consultant replenishment plan, and you gave it to them as a gift for being a preferred customer. And so they decided to buy it themselves, right? And so on that 3rd month, you start to see some residual orders begin to go in there. And then it just builds and builds and builds and builds on that. So when you see people that have just like gigantic PSQV, it's like, that is a great, healthy residual business. Okay. And so the goal is not 600 though. When I first started, I was talking about why you did this and why you wanted to do this. Okay. So 600 is not full-time income to me. It could be to some people, but that is not the income. That is not the paycheck that I needed. I think whenever you have 100, 600, your paycheck is somewhere between like $250, $300, depending on what you sold. I think that's it, but that's for the most of us. That's not life-changing income. That's not why we are doing this. And so what you have to do is, just like in the book, Magic of Thinking Big, get a vision on how big that this can be and think a little bit bigger, right? Think about not just ways that would bless your family, but think about ways that you can use the income that are bigger than you could possibly think and do huge things with your family, huge things with your children, huge things with missions that you love and you want to be a part of. So like maybe you're doing really well yourself, but maybe your savings account isn't what you want it to be. Julie used it to do the debt snowball and pay off her debt. It's one of my favorite stories. I love that. Think bigger. Think about that, right? And so then also you can think about programs like Lead the Way, and we're not going to go into that today, but you can think about programs like Lead the Way. There is a really great trip on there. There are some really amazing prizes on there, and maybe that's what you want to do. And so what I want you to do is understand the basic building blocks of 100 and 600, but I don't want you to get stuck there, okay? And so the RFX diet is something that we have done on and off through the years that I really love, and that's why I'm going to bring it back. And all it means is that we are running for bigger goals. We are running for a goal of hitting 100, 600 by the 6th, 100, 1,500 by the 15th, and 103,000 by the 30th. And guess who's dropped from that? Me, lots of us, right? Because we didn't have the goal up there. We weren't focused on it. And that's why, yeah, like not doing some of these very basic things that we're going to talk about over these 4 weeks, and getting caught up in the tiny details of like things that don't matter. All of a sudden you will begin to see things not falling into place just as well as whenever we do these things that we're supposed to do, just as well. It will fall out of place as well as it will fall into place there. Okay. And so by now I hope you understand, like, I hope you know why you're here. And I hope that you guys will be comfortable sharing that, not just with me, but with the whole team here, everybody that's on Huddle Up, like get in here and like share, be open, be honest, be excited about that. You know why you're doing it. You understand the basics. This is not rocket science. It is not a tattoo. It is not a child. It is a business. And this is a very viable business opportunity to be able to sell products for Rodan and Fields and get paid. The more product you move, the more you get paid. It is that basic. We pay for our website. Websites website is the only thing that I have not talked about yet in terms of in terms of the basics. We pay $24.95 a month for our website and for our back office. Julie, great question. Can we bring back the penny challenge? I think that would be a lot of fun. Let's me and you talk about that after I get done. Actually, I think that would be a lot of fun. Does anybody else think that that would be a lot of fun? Because it was fun. Good point. I like that. So for $24.95 a month, we are paying for our back office and we are paying for our website. Guys, just go log into your back office and look what's there. Do you want to try to do that on your own? I don't. I do not at all. That website, do you want to try to create something like that on your own? No. Like that is what we pay for our website. And there's nothing else to say whenever it comes to that. Like that's the cost of business and how much you put into your PSQV through preferred customer orders and personal consultant orders, people joining your direct team. That is how you build it. That's how your paycheck gets built. We'll talk about team sales later, but not now, but because I just want you to understand the basics, right? And so the average level 5 has a 3,000 PSQV, which I can attest to be true. Mine has seriously dropped from there over the past year and a half. And it is because I have stopped doing, some of those things. And so you want to think about 3,000 as being a very average and good and shoot for it PSQV, no matter where you are. Okay. So let's talk real quick about being a compliant user of the products, right? So we know how to get paid. We know what we're doing for a business. Let's talk about the products and being a compliant user ourselves, therefore being able to share the products and sell the products to get paid a little bit better, right? So longer looking lashes in the best skin of your life. Yeah, like that's it. You want that. I want that. We all want that. Our friends want that. People that are buying our products want that. Literally, we signed up for longer looking lashes and the best skin of our life. We are all human. We are not asking for perfection. I am not talking about perfection in any way, just consistency, just like everything else, right? So more times than you don't, are you washing your face morning and night? More times than you don't, are you looking for new customers and looking for new business partners? More times than not, like everything else, you are literally a walking billboard for Rodan and Fields. Like that, and that's a congratulations, like good job, like you signed up to do that, right? Care about your appearance, it matters. We also talked about that in one of the most recent chapters of The Magic of Thinking Big. Your appearance matters, whether you like it or not. When you go out, are you representing with your skin Rodan and Fields? Okay, and like I get breakouts. It's not perfection. Right? It's not perfection, but are you taking care of your skin? Are you using the products in a consistent ways? In a consistent way, you literally get paid, and that's part of it. Okay. So picking and using products is a journey for us as much as it is our customers. Use the solution tool often. Twice a year is what I suggest. Go in there, go to your website, do the solution tool every time the season changes. Really, you know your skin better than I ever would. It's not my job to know your skin, but if you have questions, you can certainly bounce them off of me. But for me, I'll probably do the solution tool 2 to 3 times a year, which is as much as my skin like changes. It really does matter to go in there and make sure that we're using the right products, just like our customers. Because how do you expect to be able to tell your customers how to use the right products if you're not even figuring that out on your own? All right. And so showing people how you use them. So if you're not following me on social media, again, I am not perfect, but more often times than not these days, I will time lapse myself doing my AM routine and doing my PM routine. And right now, that is how I am showing people how I use the products. What I do is I time lapse it. It doesn't take it very long. It doesn't matter who comes in and talks to me. I'm normally listening to a podcast or music or something like that while I'm doing it. It doesn't matter because it's time lapse, right? And so I time lapse myself and I pop a couple of tips on there. I remind them of multi-med therapy because that's what we stand for and that's what makes us different and that's what sets us apart. And so I pop something on there. It's also repetition. Anybody that watches my stories sees this all the time. And so it's constantly there. They see me doing it. They see what I'm using. They ask me questions about what was that. And I will pop my link and a tip. I will pop my link for the solution tool. Like, this is what I'm using. Curious what's best for you. Go take that. And here's some tips. Because I want to give, and we'll talk about social media, I think in week 3, I want to give people like some education. I want to just freely give people some things that I have learned. I want them to have a reason to come and watch my stories, to come and do things like that. Okay. So show people that you're using them, demo things for your network, watch mine and duplicate it. Okay. Again, I'm not perfect. I'm just trying to do the best job that I can. And if you're not doing anything, just watch mine and then duplicate that, do the exact same thing. Okay. Have products on you, sunscreen, moisturizers, lip shields, things of that nature, have that on you so you can start conversations that way. If you're at the ball field or, if you're out and about this summer and somebody forgot their sunscreen, you should have yours on you, right? If you're sitting at church and somebody's got like, oh, my hands are so dry or whatever, have lotion in your purse or your bag or whatever, like have these things on you. You can start so many different conversations that way. Let people into your life to see how you use their products so that they might see how that they can use them too. Collect stories of products that you don't use, okay? Because I don't use all the products. I don't use Soothe. I think I've used it like a couple of times in my life. I don't have sensitive skin, but I have enough product stories to share. And again, that's why I want you guys, that's why I'm like a broken record in the chat and on team pages to be like, hey, share your before and afters with us in your stories. And we're going to have a team before and after and folder here on Huddle Up again too. I'm going to move all of that over there, but I need you to share your product stories and your product before and afters with me. I need you to get your product stories and product before and afters from your preferred customers and share them with the team. That's how those things are built. So collect stories and share product stories of the products that you don't personally use, and then share what you do. Share those stories, and then you yourself share your own product story. Be able to talk about them naturally and excitedly. And the best way to do that is browse your website. That website that you pay for every month that your customers go and shop off of, just browse it. Pull up your phone. You're on your phone more than you should be anyway. We all are, even if we try not to be. Why don't you go to your website every once in a while and go browse it and look and see how incredible it is and learn yourself. There's videos, there's how-tos, there's tips. Most of the stuff that I'm getting now, I get from the Derm blog, or I'll get from our website. It's right there. All right. So let's talk real quick about being part of the R+F brand. Like we talked about in the beginning, I signed up to be part of the R+F brand. I saw the doctors. I knew their reputation. I didn't have a clue what we sold. In fact, there's always a funny story that I thought we sold makeup whenever I started. I had no idea. We didn't even have Radiant Defense at the time. I signed up to be part of the Radiant & Fields brand because I saw something that I could be proud to be a part of for a long time. Okay. So like was a forever decision for me. I would never put myself with a brand that I didn't believe in and that I didn't want to be part of for a really long time and trust for a really long time. So that's the Radiant & Fields brand. Are you part of the Radiant & Fields brand? So you'll see a lot more in team giveaways and incentives and stuff like that. I'm going to do hats and sweatshirts and t-shirts and all sorts of stuff like that again, because not in a throw up cringy way, in a proud way. Represent your brand. Like, what other brands do you know and love? Like, we have a Peloton. I love the Peloton. I have lots of stuff that says Peloton on it. I'm representing that brand. Okay. Do they pay me? No. I mean, I can get a coupon if somebody happens to use the link, right? I can get some free clothes or, whatever like that. But I should be representing Radiant & Fields as hard as I'm representing Peloton and any other brand. I love Thrive Market. Like, think about the things that you love and you share greatly. How are you a part of the Radiant & Fields how are you a part of the Radiant & Fields brand in that way? Okay. The other thing is, do you know what we stand for? Do you know what we do? I am not going to go into that, but I have put some resources inside of the new consultant tab here on Huddle Up, and it says get to know the doctors. Go watch those videos. Do you know who we are, where we came from, what we stand for, all that stuff? And are you communicating that to others, right? Not, again, just common sense, not throw up style, not cringy, not all of that. You get paid to represent this brand. So show up like you get paid to represent this brand, right? Look at your social. What does it say about you? We're going to talk about social media. Again, I believe it's in week 3, but look at your social. What does it say about you? Are you actively engaging with your audience, interweaving life in Rodan and Fields? Or do people not even have a clue that you are aligned with Rodan and Fields? Again, for that, browse your website a little bit, okay? And in talking about being on brand, we're also going to talk just a tiny second about being off brand, okay? Please don't be a drama llama, all right? Just please do not. But who are you? Stand up for the things that you believe in. I don't care what it is, right? Be you. Be all you, be all there. Even, and I will say this, my opinions, as I was looking at old RF101s, like I have changed a lot of this. Even if you have polarizing views, be there, and be there in a drama-less way. Are you sharing them with love? Are you like what are you doing? What do you stand for? Find your people. Honestly, who you are, people will be drawn to who you are no matter what it is. So like for me, like I am big on school choice and freedom in school choice and freedom in being able to make money the way that you want to and flexibility. Like I'm all about life freedom. Like that is it. Like, are you able to look at your life and assess it and be like, yeah, this is actually exactly the way that I want it to look, right? If you're not, do something about it. And people know that. So what I'm trying to say is don't be off brand in a way that's off-putting to other people, that's rude or demeaning or anything like that. And honestly, I don't think I need to say anything else because there's not a one of you on the team that I've ever seen anything like that about, okay? But what you don't want to do is chase away opportunities to help other people by being a hag online, okay? Like, let's just get like you just don't want to, okay? So again, get to know the doctor's story, get to know the R+F brand, and then make sure that you are proud of it. You are beaming proud of it, right? All right, so we're going to talk about a few last things to wrap it up, and we're doing pretty good. We're at 41 minutes right now. The rest of them should be, and I practiced a little bit, they should be somewhere around 30 minutes. There'll be less talk in the beginning. What to expect with this business is actually what to expect with any business, okay? The basics of how to build it and how to get paid, they don't change. There's nothing to add on to what I just said, except for whenever you build a team, how you get paid, and I'll talk about that at the very tiny end. That's it, okay? You get paid to move products for Rodan and Fields and find other people to do that. And so what should you expect along the way on that road? First, have fun. Please, please, please expect to have fun. Know that this is going to be fun and know that this is going to get hard. And it's just like any other thing. Natasha is inspiring me so much. She's on her way to Puerto Rico right now for a girls trip. So she's not on here with us live right now, but she did a dance class last year and this year, or just this year. It has been so fun to watch her do that. When she signed up to do that, was that fun and also challenging? I would love for her to tell us about it sometime. Love for her to tell us about that sometime, because what are your expectations? It's going to be fun, but it's going to get hard. And are you going to quit whenever it gets hard? Please say no. Please tell me that you're not the kind of person who encounters something hard, that you inside of something that you really wanted to do, and then you quit because it's hard. Like me personally, the way that I'm wired, I couldn't live with myself that way. Like I could not live with myself that way. And I hope that if you're not that way, I hope that you can appreciate it. And I hope that you can strive to try harder and want to be better in that. It's a business. You're the boss. Like that's it. It's a business. You're the boss. You're the one that does it. Okay. Rodan and Fields has some compliant things that you need to stay in and out of, right? But they email us about that. Even that's not rocket science. Okay. If you are not having fun in your business right now, which I had been in a season of not having any fun in my business anymore. And it's why I was going, because I wasn't having any fun anymore. And I think a lot of us were not having fun anymore. So find out how you can have fun again. RF101, these next 4 weeks are part of how I can have fun again. My connection to you guys, how we can have these conversations and bring us back with 2 feet on the ground and really do this. If you don't see what you want inside of this team or inside somewhere, you are not going to hurt my feelings. Okay. Create it. Some of the best advice that Sherry Hanks has ever given me is whenever I would say in the beginning something like, oh, I heard so-and-so was doing that. We should do that. That sounds fun. She would say, you should do that. And that's how I learned. If you don't see what you want, create it. Absolutely create it. And nothing makes me happier. Like Mickey is so good. I can't tell who's on here anymore because it's come out in and out so much, but Mickey is so good of finding sideline sisters and getting involved in things and just jumping in and creating what she wants to create. Like, I hope I can create some things here that you guys are excited about because I love you so much and I love collaborating with you. But if you don't like something that I'm doing, don't do it. But don't not do that or don't not do anything. Go create something that you do think is fun. Okay. What we do, I was having a conversation with one of my good friends this past week, and she has a couple of brick and mortar stores and she does a lot of business with other businesses that are brick and mortar. And she said network marketing is harder than brick and mortar, because with brick and mortar, you can have a grand opening and all this advertisement, and some people just wait for people to walk in. And their businesses are probably not very successful. They might be a little successful, right? But this is hard. We don't just wait for people to walk in. Like, we have to go find it. You have to go out and get it. Sometimes you hit your goals and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you find people and sometimes you don't, but you have to keep getting up and getting at it. Is it scary? Yes. Is it hard? No, right? Like, death is hard. Like, cancer is hard, loss of a pet or loss is hard. There are so many things that are truly, truly, truly hard. Is it scary? Yes. Is it hard? No. Okay. Getting told or ignored over and over is not fun. It is not fun. Please tell me if you think it's fun, and then I need to sit down and you need to teach me something. Okay. It is not fun, but it's part of it. You're going to have cancels. You're going to have quits. You're going to have people that say that they're so excited about this, and then 3 months later, they're going to be part of the witness protection program. Okay. It is not fun, but it's not your responsibility to make everybody else happy and make everybody else have fun, right? It's not. It's just your responsibility for you to do you, right? It's not even your business why people quit or move on, even though we would all love to have answers, right? It's not even your business. It happens. Those are other people's personal lives and goals and wants and dreams, right? And maybe Rodina Fields doesn't fit into it. You got to stop trying to shove everybody into the Rodina Fields box, because actually everybody doesn't fit in it. Everybody could fit in it, but everybody doesn't fit in it. And after 7 years, I can absolutely tell you that, right? So the only thing you have to ask yourself is, will you get back up? That's it. Prepare your mind now. Will you get back up? Whether or not you're in book club with me, I really want you to get the book, The Magic of Thinking Big, because I can look at all of these books, most of the books that I've read, and it is covered in The Magic of Thinking Big. Just get it and read it and thank me later. And yes, it's a little outdated. The language is a little old. You may even think that it's a little simple in the beginning, but if you think that it's a little simple, it's probably going over your head. Okay. Or maybe you're trying to complicate something that doesn't need to be complicated. Okay. So I keep coming back to it. In the last week of RF101, we're going to talk about personal development. We'll talk about it just a little bit more. We'll talk about it a little bit more then, but you must. The question is, will you grow? And that's where in the beginning I said, if you've been in this business for any amount of years and you're the same person you were whenever you joined, something's gone wrong. Something has gone wrong. You need to be growing. You need to be changing. And that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with the way you are now. But you got to be humble enough to say, okay, this is what I want. This is what I want to make. This is what I want to build. I'm going to come out of this a different person, man. Whew. And that's scary. It's scary to think about losing who we are now for who we want to be, but you've got to let it go, or you will die the same person that you are now. Okay. We do have some systems though, and we'll talk about systems along the way. Use them. Again, if you don't like mine, create your own. Okay. I'm not your boss, right? I've just been doing this for a little bit longer. And so I hope that you will listen to some of the things that I have to say today and over the next 3 weeks too. We're all busy. If you are struggling, then please join me for Strategy Sunday. Hopefully, I can help you not struggle. If you can't come to a Strategy Sunday, I'm going to record a couple of them. And I also have a document that I can share with you that will help you plan your time. But we are all busy. And so nobody wants to hear that you're just like so busy you can't. It doesn't matter if you want to say, I'm so busy, I don't want to do this right now. That's a totally different statement. But I'm so busy, I can't do this right now. That doesn't register with me. Like, we have 5 kids now. We've had 5 kids since I started this business. I homeschool now. Like, I'm as busy as the rest of you guys. And I can look at times in my life and say, okay, you were busy, but you didn't want to make it a priority then. And again, that's okay. That's totally okay. But if you're having problems with scheduling and things like that, come see me. I love it. It's one of my favorite things. I can show you. If you show me your calendar, I can show you how to get it done. Okay. The question will be, will you do it or not? All right. So reach out, ask questions whenever it comes to that. Scrolling, listening to me, reading in the library, none of that is going to make you any money. Distractions will come. In expectations, distractions will come. Please go ahead and like tell yourself right now, like, things are going to happen. There are going to be distractions. Like, distractions can be cool too. Like, well, like, they can look like divorce or like bad things, but they can also look like a new love or marriage or a baby or a puppy, or who knows, maybe you had a job transfer. Distractions can take any single form. So just know that they're going to come. Commit now to make Radina Fields a priority, or it will get pushed aside. We all know it. Maybe you've been there. I've been there. You got to commit now or it will. I've seen it. You know it. R&F does not have to be number 1, but it does have to be important to you. And that's another thing that we talk about in the magic of thinking big is, do you think what you do is important? And I'm actually going to do a video about that probably this coming week to just really talk about it, because Julie and Becca were on book club with me, and we were talking about, do you think what you do in Radiant and Fields is important? Because it is. It really is. So the wrapping it up, belief, we're going to talk about belief in the 4th week, but through today and through the next few weeks, I want you to think about your belief in 3 areas. And I actually want you to rate your belief in 3 areas. And I want you to put it in the comments. Your belief on a scale of 1 to 10 in Rodan and Fields as a brand and a company, your belief in the products of Rodan and Fields, and your belief in yourself. And I want to see that. Okay. I want you to be brave. I want you to put it here for all of us. And I want to see that. What is your belief in those 3 categories? It is okay to question things. It is okay for our belief to go like this. Okay. But it is not okay to just sit in a corner and have like no belief and just let it eat away in your head and then chip away at your confidence and then and not ask anybody, not reach out. Like, there are some of us that have been doing this longer than you, and there are people that are not on this team that you could reach out to that have been doing this longer than you. And so if you have a question, or if you're struggling in the belief of that, there are holes that can be filled, and there are places to plug in. Okay. Have some fun. Stop guarding yourself so much. Everyone won't get it. Who cares? Okay. But try to grab on to that fun, childlike faith there and that belief. And I want you to rate yourself between 1 and a 10 in belief in Rodan and Fields, the brand, and the company, the products of Rodan and Fields, and yourself. And I want to see it. Okay. Because we're a team here. Like, there's no reason for us to go inside and guard ourselves and be all ashamed and have all this, crazy stuff. How do you expect to grow, right? The other thing is, how do you expect to grow whenever we're comparing all the times? Okay. And so comparison will kill. Do not do it. I'm not going to spend very much time on it. I'm just going to be very plain about it. If you are in a comparison thing, I want you to stop it right now. And I want you to go to social media, go to your text messages, go to the team chat, go somewhere and go compliment a bunch of people. Okay. Gratitude, go write down some gratitudes. All right. Just stop. Anytime you find yourself like picking yourself apart or comparing yourself, you are wasting your time. If you're having a down day, which we all do, or like a slow brain start day, which we all do, go love on people first. Okay. We will talk about social media again in week 3, but here's what I think. It is a highlight reel. It is a tool. Get in there, do your job, get out. Okay. Even the flaws that we share purposefully, that we share on social media, are shared purposefully. Okay. So lifting people up will always kill that negativity inside of you. And so spend some time lifting people up if you are feeling down. Okay. It's like they always say that, like, you can't hate someone that you're praying for. Same thing, right? Like, you can't be negative inside and like, you can't have that take over in your brain if you are sharing, if you're doing like Care Bear Love on people, right? All right. So I told you guys that I would give you a visual of promotions. And so that's what I'm going to do. I am going to use a piece of paper and draw it for you and show it to you. And it might be backwards, but that's just fine. Okay. So somebody tell me if that's backwards or what. So this is you. You have just joined Rodan and Fields. And you started your business and you're really excited. Okay. And you listen to all the stuff that I just said, and you plug into all these great resources that you have. and you reach out fearlessly and you market, and you have filled your SB bucket and you sell a lot of product. You get 4 or 5, maybe 6 customers in the first month, and you then have a PSQV of at least 100 and 600. Okay, and that makes you an executive consultant. Yay! Okay, and so then along the way, you are so excited and you are telling your friends and your family, and you are sharing this just like super passionate with a lot of people. You're sharing the thing we talked about in the very beginning. Hey, do you want to make extra money? Rodan and Fields will pay you if you want to help them market your products. I'm having a ton of fun doing it. You want to do it with me? Okay, great. So you get, let's say you get one person to do it with you. Okay. That one person, then they're going to come in, they're going to do all the stuff that you did. They're going to kind of duplicate what you did. And don't worry, you don't have to know everything. You can just like plug them into the team and plug them into the Rodan and Fields resources, all that kind of stuff we'll talk about along the way. We're not going to talk about today, but then they hit 100 and 600. That makes you a level 1. Okay. Because you have one person with you and they have hit 100 and 600. And so that is when you have a promotion to level 1. You must be an executive consultant. Okay. The next, like along the way, if all of a sudden you stop hitting executive consultant, you will lose these people. Okay. Like that you can't stop doing this. So for this whole explanation, you must be at least 100, 600. Okay. And so then let's say you pick up another person and they do the same thing. And this is at the same time. Okay. So like when you end the month at a certain rank. And so you end the month, let's say it's May, you're going to end the month of May, and you've got 2 people that are direct to you that you brought into the business, and they're both hitting 100 and 600. And that is when you are a level 2. Okay. And so rising star is, if you are not a level 1 or a level, oh my gosh, a level 1 or a level 2 yet, you need to look into the Rising Star program. Okay. Go into your library. It's right there in front of you. Actually, here on Huddle Up, I already have a link for you. Just follow the link and learn about Rising Star. And we'll talk about that some more along the way. Okay. So after that, you're going to find 2 more people, and they are also going to hit 100 and 600. And that is going to make you a level 3. Okay. And we're going to go 2 by 2s. Like Noah's Ark. We're going to go 2 by 2s after that. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 people direct to you that are all EC. And that's going to make you a level 3. And then whenever you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, and they are executive consultants, that will make you a level 4. And then you find 2 more people, and everybody's all happy together, and everybody is at least hitting EC. That is when you have hit level 5. Okay, that's super low tech and messy and all of that, but that is so simple. Okay, I want to tell you, just like we talked about just a second ago in expectations, some of these people are going to drop off along the way. They're going to decide that they don't want to do this, that they don't want to work that hard, that they thought they wanted to do this and they don't. They're going to be allergic to our product. Like something's going to happen. These people are going to drop off. That's why we never stop finding people that want to do this ever. Okay, that's how you grow from a team of 1 to a team of 1,000. Okay, now there are people with thousands of people on their team. Okay, and so I told you that I would tell you how you get paid. Like whenever you build a team, that's the last thing that I haven't told you about what we do and how we get paid, how we do this thing. You get paid 5% on everything that your team sells. Okay. And so when you hit level 5, when you are here and you hit level 5, like come see me. We will talk about it after that. It is truly that simple. Okay. Truly that simple. Think of yourself as EC making machines. You are looking for preferred customers. You are looking for people who see the value in the business and they want to do this with you. And you are going to plug them in to the resources. I'm going to share some resources with you, but there are resources on this Huddle Up page already. If you have not gone to the resource tab, please go there. I am still working on building it and getting it built up like our Facebook team page was, but please go there. Our library just got an overhaul. Holy moly, it's gorgeous. And I have kind of been like a critic of it lately. It is gorgeous and it is amazing. It has everything that you could possibly need on it. Okay. All right. So homework time. Today we talked about the basics, how important it is to just learn that new language, right? We talked about being a product. being a part of the brand of R Fields. We talked a tiny bit about actually we talked a lot about expectations whenever you're in business, a little bit about comparison, a little bit about promotion. So I hope that you understand the structure. This has not changed since I have joined. It has always been this way. Okay. And so ingrain this in your brain. You know the way that it works. You know that you're looking for customers, and you know that you're looking for people to market the products with you. The end. Okay. Everything that we're going to learn in the next few weeks is going to build on the specifics of that. Your homework for today is to engage with your sponsor. And if you do not have a relationship, or your sponsor is not in this business anymore, then please reach up. You can reach right to me if you want to, reach wherever you want to reach. Okay. Engage with them and let them know you're in it, you're doing it, you're committed, you're super, super, super excited about it. Okay. You can plug into team calls, book club. We have sideline things. There's a Radiant Fields independent consulting group. Like, get on there, get in there. There's the Daily Experience 2.0. Get in there, get on there. Okay. And so your homework is to engage with your sponsor or me or whoever you feel comfortable with, and let them know these and let them know that you're in here and you're doing it. And just any questions that you have there. Okay. Specifically, I'm going to put my email inside of the comments here, and I want you to email me. And I want you to email me what you're here for, what you're responsible, what you understand that you're responsible for in this business, what you're committed to doing, and things that you appreciate. So love languages. What do you appreciate? So some people appreciate gifts, words of affirmation, post on their page, all sorts of stuff. I want to know that. And then what do you acknowledge about yourself? Like, I acknowledge about myself that I love procrastinate by doing very positive things, right? Those are things that I acknowledge about myself. And so I will type that in the comments, and I will put my email in the comments. I want you to tell me where you stand in belief with Radiant Fields, the products, and yourself. You can just do that right here in the comments, like I said. And then extra stuff, there is a video if you are not really sure on why you're here, what you're doing. There's a video that I'll probably link in the comments. It's called Start With Why by Simon Sinek, and it's older, it's very popular. It can live on forever. It's old, but it doesn't matter. It's an incredible concept. So if you're struggling with why you do this, I'm going to link that video and you go watch that. And then also, if you do not know how to tell your story the way that I did in the beginning, and if you watched our business presentation on Thursday night, the way that Julie and I shared our Radiant Fields story, if you do not know how to do that confidently off the cuff, please go into our resources here on Huddle Up, and I have a document there on how to craft your short story. So be working on that. Think about that this week too. And then if you're a sponsor and your people aren't in Huddle Up yet, or your people aren't on here, please assume the best of them. Like, that's what friends do. Ask if they're okay. Reach out to them. If they've been ghosting you and not paying, like just not responding to you, just reach out to them and say, hey, like, what's going on? Like, let's not let Radiant Fields make it weird between us. Like, can you just talk to me about what's going on? And you're not going to try to convince them in any way. Like, you just want to keep that relationship. Like, that's what friends do. One of my favorite parts about this team is that I consider us friends. Like, you don't have to ghost on me or your sponsor or anybody. Like, your team loves you. We are your tribe. We're all here for you. Okay. So I'm going to draw for 100% participation at the end. It will be a beautiful gift from me. I will put it up within this week. But I want you to know, on that, like, your sponsor can't make or break you. We are not your therapist. We are connected to each other, and we are friends, and we enjoy working together. But your sponsor is not responsible for you and what you learn and what you do and where you show up and teaching you and all that stuff. All this stuff is just really awesome and extra stuff. So anyway, thank you for showing up. I am excited to spend the next 3 weeks with you too. Get your people inside here of Huddle Up and tag them and let them know what's here, and make sure that you leave your questions. And if you have comments and questions and things that you want me to expound on or cover on, if you want to have a personal conversation with me about something, like, please just reach out and ask. All right. Bye, guys.